Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So in this video we will understand how to add CC recipient address list to the Salesforce flow dynamically. In previous flow series videos I have explained how we can create a flow so whenever new record is created and we want to send an email to that record owner and the email field that we created. So in this video we will understand how we can add dynamic CC recipient address list to the Salesforce flow. So here I will cover why we need to add dynamic CC recipients. Then we will take a scenario. After that, on that scenario, I will explain how we can create flow in Salesforce. Now to add dynamic CC addresses, we can create flow two ways. I will explain both of them. After that, we will debug the flow, then activate the flow, and then I will demonstrate you how the flow will work. So watch the video till end and don't miss any step. After that, you can also add dynamic CC recipient address list in the Salesforce flow. And if you are new to our channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so whenever we post any new video, you will get an update. So first let's understand why we need to use dynamic CC recipient in the flow. Now when we created a flow for sending an email when employee apply for the leave in our Salesforce org. After that we need to deploy that created flow to the different org. At that time the end user who is using that different org doesn't know about the flow. For that we can use dynamic flow so that whenever end user add email to the list that we created, from there the flow will take value and add them to the particular element. So you must be thinking how we can deploy flow to the different org. For that in upcoming videos I will explain how we can create packages and deploy to the different Salesforce org. So stay with us. Now let's move to the scenario. So here is the scenario. Whenever a new leave request is created, an email should be sent to the CC recipient address list. Now we need to dynamically provide a CC recipient address list. So whenever we want to change CC email addresses, we will not be required to make a change in the flow. So let's jump to the org. There I will again explain this scenario. So here I have created one custom application which is leave approval. Here I am searching for the custom application. Here you can see under the apps we have leave approval application. Click on it. So here you can see, here we have employee object, then CC email list and then apply leaves. So here in the employee object, I have created some employees. Here you can see employee name, email and then domain. And then in the CC email list, here you can see, here I have created one record. As I click on it, so let me remove this email. Because first I will explain how we can use CC recipient address list from the one record. And after that I will explain how we can take email from the different records. So let me save this. And in this record I have created one email text which is text area. And in this field I have added different emails. And here is very important thing. While adding the emails to the list, we need to separate them by providing comma. Here you can see, here I have given comma to separate the emails. Now as per the scenario, here I am clicking on apply leaves. Then to create a leave request, here we need to create a new button. Now here we need to add employee, which is the lookup field. Here I am adding this employee from date to date. And then here you can see, here we have CC email list, which is the lookup relationship between CC email list and apply leaves. As I click on this lookup field, here you can see the record that we created in the CC email list that appear over here. So here I am selecting this one. So that whenever this employee apply for the leave request, the CC email list from this record will get added to the Salesforce flow. And after saving this record, the email will be sent to that CC email recipients. Now let's create a flow. For that click on this gear icon, then go to the setup. In the quick find box, search for the flows. Here you can see under the process automation we have flows, click on it. Now here we are going to create new flow. For that here you can see, here we have new flow button, click on it. Then select start from scratch and then click on next. Now here we need to select flow type. So in previous video I have explained all of these types and also explained when we need to use these types. So as per our scenario, whenever the leave request is get created, after that the flow should trigger. For that here you can see, here we have record trigger flow. Launches when the record is created, updated or deleted. Here I am selecting this one and then click on create. Now here we need to select triggering object. That means on which object the record is get created, updated or deleted. After that the flow will trigger. So here we need to select apply leaves, because whenever the employee apply for the leaves and account get created, after that flow should trigger. So here I am selecting apply leaves. Here you can see the custom object, and then in the configure trigger we need to select a record is created. Then here we don't need to set any conditions, because whenever the record is created, after that flow should trigger. In the optimize the flow for, we need to select action and related record, because we want to send an email. We use fast field update whenever we want to change or update any field on the same object. Now simply close this one. Now after the record get created, we need to send an email. For that, here you can see, here we have add element, click on it, and then we need to add send email action to this flow. So here I am searching send email. Here you can see, here we have action send email, click on it. Now enter the label. Here I am entering send emails to CC recipients. As you click on API name, it will automatically populated, and then we need to set input values for the selected action. So here first we need to add body. As you click on this, now first we need to create an email template. The video link of how to create email template in Salesforce Flow I have given in description box. You can go through it. In that I have detailed explain how we can use dynamic values in the Salesforce Flow. So let's create a body. For that, click on this box, scroll down, and here you can see, here we have new resource, click on it. In the resource type, we need to select text template. Here I am entering API name, apply leave template. You can provide description, and then in the body we need to add text which we want to send with email. So view as a rich text, here I am selecting view as a plain text. Now here I am entering hello team, employee name hyphen, and then here we will add dynamic value. So here I am clicking on this insert resource. Then here you can see, here we have record apply leaves which we added in the start element, click on it, and then here you can see employee name underscore underscore R, which is in the relationship with apply leaves, click on it, and then from here we can select employee name. Here I am searching for, and then here search for the name. So here you can see, here we have employee name, click on it. Now if you want to add another fields, you can add it. So here I am directly adding text, I want leave from, and now here also we can provide value. So click on insert resource, then apply leaves, and now in the apply leaves object we have from date and to date. So here we have from date, and then again to, again we need to add resource to date, and here I am simply adding please approve my leave. Now here I have added only this text, and then click on done. And then here you can see CC recipient address list. Here I am enabling this, and then click on resource. Now here we need to select the field that we created and provided the different email addresses for that field. So here I am adding, here you can see triggering apply leaves object, click on it, and then here you can see relationship field. In that we have CC email list, which object is relationship with apply leaves. Here I am clicking on this, and then here we need to select the email text. So here you can see, here I am selecting this one, and then scroll down. Here you can see, here we need to provide at least one recipient address list. So here I am enabling this, and then so here I am selecting running user, and then email. Here I am searching for email. Now if you don't provide the sender email address, it will directly take the running user. Then in the subject, here I am providing leave request. Now we have added the required fields. Let's save the flow. Click on save, and here I am adding add CC list, and then click on flow API name. It will automatically populate, and then click on save. Now first let's debug the flow. For that, here you can see here we have debug button, click on it. And to debug the flow, first we need to select any record. So here I am selecting this one and then click on run. So here you can see flow successfully debugged, and then we will see the send email action details. Here you can see the email address which we didn't provide, but it has taken the running user email address. Then in the email subject we provided the leave request. Now here you can see in the email body we provided hello team and then employee name, and then in the employee name it directly captured name from the record. So same as from date and then to date. After that, in the CC recipient address list we provided the text from the email text custom object, and here we have the email that we provided in the text field. Now let's see what is the use of this adding dynamic CC recipient address list to the flow. So for example, in the email action, here I am opening this email action, and this CC recipient address list, here if I provide the hard coded email addresses, and after that the end user who don't know about flow, they want to change these emails, then it should be difficult for them. Now if the end user wants to change this email address, they can directly go to the email list object. So here I am navigating to the email address. Here you can see CC email list. Here I am opening this. Open the record where we provided the email addresses. Click on this edit button. So let me remove these addresses. Now here I am adding example1@gmail.com, comma example2@gmail.com, and then click on the save. Now let's again debug the flow. So let me refresh this page, reload, click on debug, again select the leave record and click on run. The flow successfully debugged. Again open the send email details, scroll down, and here you can see in the CC email list, here we have now different emails. So in this way we can use CC recipient address list in the Salesforce flow. Now I will show you how we can use the CC recipient address list from the different record. For that, let's navigate to the CC email list object. Now here I will create different record, and in that record I have created one email field. In that field I will provide the email addresses. So here I am opening this email, edit this one, and now we don't need any emails in the email text. So here I am removing this, and then here you can see here we have CC emails, which is the email field. Now here I am providing emails. Click on save. Again create new record. Here I am providing different email. Save. Again new. Again save and new. Again another one, save and new, and then again another one, save. Now here you can see here we have 5 different emails. So this flow will be totally different from the flow that we created. So watch the video carefully. Now we have 5 records with the 5 different emails. Now let's create a flow. So here I am editing this flow only. For that, click on edit flow. Now first we need to fetch all the CC email addresses that we stored in the CC email list object. For that, we need to add get record element. After the start element, here I am adding get records. Here I am entering label CC email list. API name will be automatically populate. Now in the get record of this object, we need to select CC email list object, because from that object we need to get records. CC. Here you can see here we have CC email list __ C. That means this one is a custom object that we created. Here we don't want any condition, so here I am selecting none. Now we need to store all records. After that only we can get the email from that records. So here I am selecting all records. Now in the how many records to store, when we select all records, this get record element will be the collection element. So here I am simply closing this one. Now we will use the loop element to iterate the records that we get in the get records from the CC email list. For that, here I am adding the loop element. In the label, here I am providing CC emails loop. The API name will be automatically populated. Then in the collection variable, we need to select variable or the element where we stored all the records. So in this flow, we created the get record element to store the all records. For that, so here I am selecting this one, get records, which we created. Then specify the direction from iterating over collection. So you can select first to last item or last to first item. It doesn't matter in this scenario. So here I am simply closing this. So if you want to know about the loop element in detail, the video link I have given in description box, you can go through it. So you will be understand what is the purpose of loop element and how it will work. Now we added the loop element. So after the getting records from the CC email list to the get record, then the loop will iterate over that records, and now we want to fetch only email field from that records. For that we need to add assignment element, so that after the iterating over the records, the email field will be added to the that assignment element. For that, here I am adding assignment element. Here you can see, here we have assignment element, click on it. In the label, here I am entering assign emails to variable. Again, API name will be automatically populate. Now first we need to create variable. For that, click on this box, scroll down, and here you can see new resource, click on it. In the resource type, we need to select variable, provide API name. Here I am providing CC email list. In the data type, we need to select text because we are going to store text values, and then click on done. And here is very important thing, we don't need to allow multiple values for collection because the CC recipient address list doesn't take the collection variable. For that, we only create text variable. After that, click on done. Now here you can see the variable successfully created, which is the text variable. In the operator, we need to leave as equals. Now see this carefully. In the value, we need to add email from the loop element. So as I click on this, here you can see, here we have loop element, click on it. And now in the loop element, from the current record, we need to fetch email field. For that, here you can see, here we have all fields, and from this field we need to select the email field that we created in the CC email list object. So here I am searching email, and here you can see, here we have CC emails, which is the field name of the email field. So here I am selecting this one. Again click on it. Now this will fetch the current email address which is in the loop iteration. Now that email we need to store to the CC email list. For that, provide comma. And now we need to select variable that we created. That means email from this loop element will assign to that variable. So here I am selecting, copy this one and paste over here. And now simply close this one. Now after assigning the last email to this assignment variable from the loop will end and the email action will be performed. So here I am editing the email action now. So here I only need to change CC recipient address list. So here I am removing this one. And now here I need to select the assignment variable that we created. So here we created CC email list. Here I am selecting this one. And then simply close this. So again save the flow. And now let's debug the flow. For that, click on debug. Select any apply live record and then click on run. Here you can see flow successfully debugged. And now here you can see the flow. The start element get executed. We got the record from the CC email list object. Then the loop element iterate over that records, and then we get the emails from those records, and we assign the emails to the text variable. After the last email, the loop get ended, and at last the send email action get performed. Now as I open the details of send email action, scroll down, and here you can see in the CC recipient addresses we got the emails that we added in the records of CC email list object. Now here you can see, here we have last this email. If I delete the record which contained this email, let's see what will happen. So here you can see, here we have that record which contained that email. So here I am deleting this record. Then again go to the flow, refresh and again click on debug. Select the leave record, click on run. This time also flow successfully debugged. Go to the email details. And now here you can see we don't have that email in the CC recipient address list. After debug the flow, you can activate this flow, and after creating the leave record, the flow will successfully run. Now in the next video, I will explain how we can create the package of this flow and deploy to the different Salesforce org so that the end user of that different org don't need to edit flow to change the CC recipient address list. So I hope you have got an idea about how we can add dynamic CC recipient address list to the flow. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon so whenever we post any new video, you will get an update. Thank you.